Well, good morning, Kelsey. Thank you so much for joining me today for this interview.
Thank you. It's great to see you.
Let's start right in. How did playing basketball at West Point shape the person that you are today?
Ooh. I think it's shaped me in so many ways. I mean, sports in general, my whole life, I think has shaped me a ton of who I am and the way that I act. But in particular, West Point, it's such a unique place. You go through so many obstacles and good and bad moments, not just individually, but collectively as a group with your teammates, with your squad, with your platoon. So I think that all plays into how much it can impact a person just because you've gone through so much together. And then playing basketball and being able to share the court with my teammates was awesome. But it taught me leadership, teamwork, how to work together as a team, how to motivate and influence people. And those are all lessons that I've taken with me in the Army and now outside of the Army. So I think it's had a huge impact. Sports, basketball, playing at West Point, like that's all had a huge impact on the way that I carry myself and what I value as an individual and as a member of a team.
Very cool. In what ways has your experience as a college athlete at West Point inspired your life after graduation?
Um, I think it's made me value just the team aspect a lot more. I enjoy working in teams. I enjoy being a part of a team. That's a position that I really value is being a team member. And just being able to work with people who have different backgrounds, different strengths, different perspectives and ways of doing things is really fun for me. Whether it's in a competitive setting or in a work setting, it's just a lot of fun to be able to take a group of people who could have really different backgrounds and find a way to work towards a common goal. That's something that is not just exclusive to sports, but it could be just in your community, your friend group, your workplace. Like it's a lot of fun for me to kind of just be able to be in that environment. And that's something that I really enjoyed at West Point. And it wasn't just with basketball, but like just being around a really diverse group of cadets and learning about the way that people grew up, the way that they think, the way that they approach problems in the world is really interesting.
Very. Okay, we're going to dive into some memories. What are some of your favorite memories from your time at West Point and also playing basketball at West Point?
Um, Playing basketball, there's so many. It's hard to pick one or a few, but the Army Navy games were always a ton of fun. And you can really feel the difference in the energy on game day when you're playing Navy. Just everyone has more excitement, more nerves, just more energy and like adrenaline. So those were always fun. And we played Navy at Madison Square Garden my senior year during an insane snowstorm in New York City, which is just like a wild weekend. Um, the Patriot League Championship games were awesome and really meaningful too, especially the first one. My sophomore year, 2014, we beat Holy Cross, and that was about 10 years after Army had first won with Maggie Dixon as the coach. So that was just really meaningful to Coach McGarity and to all of us as well that we could be a part of that moment. Um, but yeah, just a ton. And it wasn't necessarily the games either that were the most memorable for me. The moments with my teammates, whether it was at practice, in the team room, in the weight room, on road trips, especially like on the bus to a road trip, those were all really fun. And I think what I miss the most are just those small moments with my teammates, um, hanging out with them on the bus, having fun, laughing. Like those are all moments that I wish I could go back to. Um, and I think that's probably what I miss the most about playing is just being around my teammates and seeing them so often. Because like now we're all spread across the country or the world, and so it's not as often that I get to see them. But when I do, it's like we haven't missed a beat, which is awesome that we have that type of friendship and relationship. And then in terms of West Point memories, I don't, there's so many cool ones at West Point, and it's a really special place because so many of those experiences I don't think I would have had elsewhere. For example, when Coach K brought Team USA to West Point my junior year, 2015,
Hmm.
and we got to watch them practice. We got to meet some of the players. I got to shoot against Steph Curry, which was unexpected, but so cool. Um, and then the New York Knicks came to West Point for a practice, and we got to eat lunch with them. And just like the different cool people who come to West Point was awesome. And it wasn't necessarily even related to basketball. Like it could be a random Tuesday, and there's just a really interesting person at West Point who comes to the mess hall and greets all the cadets at lunch.
Hmm.
And yeah, just those really cool moments that I probably took for granted when I was there. But when I reflect about all the interesting experiences and people and things that I got to do as a cadet at West Point is cool. And like those things, I don't know if they would happen at other places.
Yeah, very,
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
Can you share a particularly funny or memorable story involving your teammates or the coaches? And I'm curious, do you still keep in touch with members of your team, the coaches or ORs? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I do keep in touch with them. A few ORs or sponsors, I keep in touch. The coaches, I try to. Coach McGarity, I will shoot a text to every once in a while.
Hmm.
It's nice to stay in touch with him. I haven't seen him in a while, but I'm living in Philadelphia now, so hopefully now that we're on the same coast, it'll be easier to meet up with him either here or at West Point. And then my teammates, yeah, like my class I do, and then some of the other girls in the other classes, uh, whether it's on social media or if I'm in the area where they live, trying to connect with them. Um, Memorable moment. There's so many. It's hard to actually like think of one though. I don't know. Like Coach McGarry would say some really funny stuff in practice. Not
Hmm.
even trying to be funny, but the way that he would say things and what he would say would just kind of crack us up. But like obviously in practice it's serious, so you're trying not to laugh. Which is just always hard, but he's really funny. Uh on road trips, my my pregame or like the night before the game, my I guess nighttime snack, I would get a bag of Cheetos and a little Haagen-Dazs chocolate ice cream, and I would eat that at night before I went to bed, which is crazy because if I eat that now, I will feel sick probably and gain a couple pounds. But like back then, it was just eat whatever, and uh, I kind of miss being able to eat that type of stuff and being in like the hotel with my teammates and hanging out before we went to bed. Those were a lot of fun. But yeah, I don't know. I had some funny teammates too, who just really made practices,
Hmm.
weightlifting sessions so much more fun.
Did anybody sing or dance? Did anybody have any particular talent that everybody looked to? Just curious.
Um,
We had a girl on our team who would sing Duke of Earl and just be silly. Very
uh-huh.
campy.
I know my freshman year, every road trip we watched Pitch Perfect. I think Pitch Perfect, the movie may have came out that year, but like every road trip we watched that movie and would be singing along at different points in the movie and like even uh like off the bus when the movie was over, we would be like reenacting some scenes from that movie. But I just remember watching that movie so many times that year. I mean, I love the movie and it was like nice that everyone kind of enjoyed it, but uh yeah, I
Love
know
it.
Anna Simmers sung a lot. She had a pretty voice. Uh, Other people dance a lot. It was always just a fun environment to be around and just be a part of. Never a dull moment.
I bet. Okay, was there a specific game or a moment in your career at West Point, basketball or outside of basketball that stands out as especially significant to you and why was it meaningful?
Hmm. Um, um, I mean, the Army Navy at Madison Square Garden was cool just because it's just a cool opportunity to play at Madison Square Garden. Like, what other time would I be able to do that?
Hmm.
And I'd never been in Madison Square Garden before that, and it's such a historic arena, and the opportunity to play there was super, super cool. Um, I really the championship game my senior year versus Loyola,
Hmm.
the Patriot League championship, and being able to win that game was, I think it was just nice to kind of cap off my entire 4 year career with that game. And that season overall was really special because we were such a close group on and off the court. And to see how we progressed through that entire season was really gratifying, and how everyone really played and embraced their role so well.
Hmm.
Like we had people who were defensive specialists. We had people who were great rebounders or great shooters. Just like everyone had a very important role to the team, and they all played it to the best of their ability. And you could really see how it impacted the team and how it really elevated us.
Hmm.
And just to cap it off with, I know we had a game after in the tournament, but like to cap it off with that game against Loyola in front of our fans at home, like all of our family and friends were there. It was just, I couldn't have like pictured a better way to end being able to end playing at Crystal Arena with that game in front of our fans at home. But yeah, that senior year, my senior year was awesome. I have so many like fond memories of it, playing basketball, but just being around that group of girls. We had a really solid team. Not that the other years weren't, but I think we all kind of, as seniors, you kind of feel more uh, like you feel like you've really grown into yourself, I think, after those 4 years. And um, yeah, it was just awesome to see how we all came together that year.
Sounds magical. What
So
are
yeah.
some things you wish people knew about being a student athlete playing at a service academy like West Point?
Ooh. Um, I think it's a really just unique and different opportunity because you're playing for the academy, of course, like you're playing for your school, but in some sense, you're also playing to represent the Army. Like we have Army across our jerseys. So you're not just playing for yourself or for your team or for your school, but you're also playing and representing the Army wherever you go. And that's a huge privilege, first of all, and just a really cool opportunity as cadet athletes that we had of like, and it was also cool. Like we play in different parts of the country, not just here, kind of in the Northeast, but when we would travel to other places like Ohio or Colorado or Utah, like the presence of army and presence of soldiers is everywhere across the world. And so it was always cool when we go to these different places, we'd be able to sometimes meet service members and soldiers in the area. And to have that support is awesome. But yeah, I think it's unique in that you're representing the army as well. And so there's just so many like other people who um like who you're representing, and I think that's kind of unique, and yeah, like I said, a huge privilege. You're on mute, by the way.
Very cool. I've been curious for a long time. Did you ever consider playing professional women's basketball, and how did you make the decision not to?
So I actually did try out for a professional team after my senior season. Going into West Point, I think a lot of, or most athletes, at least at the time, you kind of don't have any expectation to play professionally. Like you graduate and then you immediately begin your service commitment. So I hadn't given it much thought that it would even be an opportunity or I would even be able to try out. But my senior season, kind of as the season, if I'm remembering correctly, but kind of as the season went on, there was more like chatter about, oh, like can she try out? Is she able to? What would that look like? How would that work? And towards the end of my season, I was at a lunch in the mess hall with the Secretary of Defense, Ash Carter. He was doing a visit to West Point, and me and a few other cadets were having lunch with him, which is like another cool experience that where else would that happen, you know? And I was sitting next to him and he, I think he was like going around and just saying a few words to each cadet. And he like turned to me and he was like, "So I hear you want to play in the WNBA or try out or play in the WNBA." And I was like, "Yeah, that'd be awesome if I had the opportunity to try out." And he was like, "Okay, sure. Like we'll sign a waiver. We'll make it happen." So that was like that was the moment where like I was like, okay, this could actually happen where I'm able to try at least have an opportunity to try out. And then after that, there was like a whole bunch of paperwork and approvals and stuff that had to go up the chain. And then I was able to try out with the San Antonio Stars,
Hmm.
who are now the Las Vegas Aces. So like I think a couple weeks or a few weeks after the season ended, I went to San Antonio for like 3 weeks, I think was a training camp, and then I got cut at the end.
Hmm.
But
Bummer.
that was yeah, but it was such an amazing opportunity. Just even the chance to try out was awesome. And like the administration at West Point, the athletic department, all of the work that they put in to just get me a waiver to try out, I was super appreciative for because I kind of just didn't even think it was a possibility. Um, but yeah, it was just an amazing opportunity and really grateful that I had the chance. Um, so
Very
yeah.
cool. Very cool. Did you think I'll try it with another team or anything like that? Or was it just was the Army saying you're one and done? That's it.
Um, I think it was more of a one and done. I guess I never really clarified, but yeah, I think after that I was like, okay, like I gave it a shot. It's just it didn't work out, but that's okay. It was still an amazing experience that I had. And so then after that, I just started I had like another week or two of school left, and then after that, just went right into the army.
Yeah, very cool. Very
Hmm.
cool. I'm curious how you think about this. How has women's basketball changed since you were in college? And then what are the opportunities and challenges of the NIL and the transfer portal rules and all of that? Have you been sort of keeping up
Yeah.
with what's going on with women's basketball?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much talent in women's basketball. It's a ton of fun to watch. Like I watch college, I watch WNBA, and like these women are so talented. It's so competitive. And I think the landscape of college athletics in general has changed for some schools, and then for some, like for West Point, I don't know how much it's changed because I don't think NIL is even a thing there. But it's probably impacted maybe the way that they recruit. And I've heard stories of like just the way that recruiting is different now. I think it's like I'm happy that athletes are getting paid and they're being compensated because some of these schools and these athletes bring in a ton of money for the school. So like that part is good. I think it's just kind of changed the dynamic of sports a bit. And um it seems to be like less in some instances less like loyalty, I think, to the school. And because players have so much more freedom and ability to move between schools and not have to sit out a year or like it's just so much easier now, I think, than what it was previously. So that being so readily accessible, I think has changed how players view like their college that like their college experience and then and the other way around, like how teams and coaches view it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that I don't know, it's kind of hard to articulate kind of how it's changed, but I think it's definitely made the experience from a fan's perspective different because like they could have this really amazing player that who they connect with and they love to watch, and then you never know, like at the end of the season they could be gone. So like that part's kind of a bummer in some respects, but also like it's the athlete's decision, like how they want to spend their 4 years and what they think is the best opportunity.
Hmm.
So it kind of goes both ways. I don't know if there's like a right answer at the moment. I'm curious to see kind of how it'll play out and how it'll change if it will. But yeah, it's definitely changed. I don't know how much it's impacted West Point. Um, and like even if I were and my teammates were still there, like I don't think it would really change us as much.
Hmm.
But for the top schools who bring in the top athletes, like I think that's changed a bit. It's funny because I actually wrote a persuasive paper a couple weeks ago for one of my classes on this subject. So I
Hmm.
did some research into it. Um, but yeah, it's kind of become more like professional, I think also. It's not
Hmm.
so much amateur. I don't know if that's good or bad, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting time to be watching college sports.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Okay, well, tell us what you're doing now. What's your career path? What personal goals do you have for the near future?
hmm
What's going on,
So
Kelsey?
I'm living in Philadelphia now. I'm going to business school. So I moved out here end of July. Um, Going to Wharton, which has been so much fun so far. Been a great experience and really enjoying it and learning a ton. So I'll be here for the next year and a half, 2 years or so. Um, Not sure what I'll do after. Still kind of figuring that out and exploring different stuff. But that's what makes it so exciting and interesting to be at school again, is you get exposed to so many different areas in work and life. And it's been a lot of fun to learn about them and talk to people and kind of see what people's backgrounds are, what they want to do after. So I'm not sure where I'll end up, both in a work setting and also like in the country, probably back in California, perhaps. But it's been a lot of fun to be out on the East Coast again and be a little bit closer to West Point. So hopefully make a few more trips out there and catch some games in person, which would be so much fun, or go to Army Navy in person. Even in Maryland too, it's not very far. Um, so it's a lot of fun to be here. But yeah, for the time being, just enjoying this business school experience and trying to make the most of it and get the most out of it and have fun along the way as well.
Hmm. Do you, is there any way in your brain or one of the choices to be, to go into coaching or go into the basketball industry, maybe as a general manager or, whatever? I don't know. Are you thinking basketball at all?
Not so much in that sense, although who knows in the future. Like I just enjoy sports so much. I enjoy watching basketball, football, whatever. So that would be cool at some point in the future to be involved with it in some aspect. Um, but I still play a little bit. I joined the basketball club here, so
Hmm.
um, at some point we'll start playing games. But my body doesn't move like it used to. It doesn't recover like it used to either. So, I just enjoy being around it so much. Whether it's watching, playing, shooting around, talking to people about it, and then so who knows, maybe at some point in the future I could be involved with it more. Maybe coaching. I don't know. I haven't given coaching too much thought either. I don't know if I'd make a good coach.
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe I just never have thought about it like that, but it's a hard job that what coaches do. And it's such a grind. At least like at the college level. I mean, I'm sure youth coaching is a little less intense. And that's maybe something that I would be open to and enjoy. But I have a lot of respect for coaches because they do a lot of work, the scouting, the watching film, coming up with game plans. Like I would see what our assistant coaches at West Point would do, and they put in a lot of work to those scouting reports. And it's not just like putting it together, but then like communicating it to the team and coming up with the game plan and how it all connects. Like it was tough that they did. They did a great job.